And now for our feature presentation, Peter Berszatowski from NJDOT's Bureau of Transportation Data and Safety has prepared a video demonstrating an overview and some features of the Safety Voyager program. At this time, please welcome Peter, who will now share his screen and play the video for us. And I'm praying that he doesn't have issues as well as I did.
Thank you, Amanda. Good morning, everyone. Today's presentation will be about Safety Voyager. A little background, Safety Voyager started in approximately 2016. Since that time, the program has evolved into a platform that has been developed with user needs in mind. Based on valuable feedback provided from many users, modules, layers, filters, and graphics have been either improved or added. A 13-minute video will shortly be started that will provide some of the recent additions to Safety Voyager, as well as options that can be utilized for various analyses. Not everyone may be familiar with the terms that will be used in the video, so I will provide a quick explanation of the abbreviations prior to starting. NJTR1 refers to the crash report submitted to the police department to the NJDOT. This is the raw data that is then processed for Safety Voyager and run through various methods in Voyager for geocoding the data. SRI refers to state right identifier, and SPF refers to safety performance functions. That should cover most of the common terms that will be used in this video. So at this point, I will start. At the completion of the video, I can answer any questions as time permits. Please be aware that the volume for the video is controlled on every user's individual device. At this point, let me share screen. Hopefully this works. Right. Okay. And start the video. Of some of the features of the program, so let's get started. Safety Voyager is based on crash reports submitted to the NJDOT, known as NJTR1s. This is a sample of an NJTR1 form. The data that is provided on the NJTR1 is manually input into a database and verified by NJDOT verifiers. Next, this data is exported to Safety Voyager. The crash locations are then geocoded using various Safety Voyager algorithms and clustered based on level of zoom. The crash data that is provided on the NJTR1 may be queried based on a variety of filters in Safety Voyager. Examples of these filters include, but are not limited to, temporal crash details, location, crash type, traffic control, driver and occupant physical condition, road conditions, and vehicle contributing circumstances. The crash map, as can be seen here, provides the user the option to zoom to specific locations. In this example, Parkway Avenue and Lower Ferry Road. The crash map can also be overlaid with a satellite image. When the user selects a crash cluster, information is displayed providing cluster breakdown, route breakdown, and state breakdown. Also, all the crashes for the cluster are listed. When the user selects a specific crash, additional information is provided. The user is also able to view redacted NJTR1s when available. In the crash map, locations can be found by addresses or routes. When typing in a route, such as Route 37 in this example, Safety Voyager provides a histogram for the length of the route. The user is quickly able to identify locations of interest as well as use the visuals for presentations and reports. Mileposts and crash counts for milepost segments can be turned on or off. The crash map also has overlays for annual average daily traffic (AADT), ball banking information, and the recently added equity layer based on census data. To demonstrate how Safety Voyager may be used, let's analyze a sample location, Route 37 and Hooper Avenue in Toms River, New Jersey. This is an aerial visual of the location and the 4 approaches to the intersection. Route 37 runs east-west. An additional module available in Safety Voyager is the Weather module. The Weather module allows the user to query by rain, snow, or wind-related events. Using Route 37 and Hooper Avenue as an example, we can query for snow-related events at this location. Here, we type in the county, which is Ocean County, and the municipality, which is Tom's River. We could also query by location, which is Route 37. We could select report parameters for years, as well as the type of crashes we are looking for, and additional statistics. Based on the selected fields in the weather module, a report is generated providing the locations listed by crash count and severity level, lighting conditions, road surface conditions, road type, road horizontal alignment, and road grade. Hooper Avenue is at approximately milepost 7.35, and on the report, this location is listed as the fourth location based on crash count by physical condition. An example of using this data may be in the preparation of snow removal efforts. The next module that can be utilized for analysis is the sun glare module. Similar to the weather module, this module provides the user with crashes related to sun glare and provides various statistics, charts, and a map. Entering the sun glare module, on the left, the user is able to select vehicle direction, time of day, and traffic control information, location, and temporal filters. On the right is a visual representation of crashes by time of day, top 25 crash locations, crashes by physical condition, crashes by severity, and time of day, as well as a crash breakdown by functional class of the roadway and posted speed limit. The user can query Route 37 as an SRI, and the information on the right is updated to reflect that query. The charts and tables on the right can be exported out of Safety Voyager and used in a variety of methods, such as presentations, Word documents, or in CSV format into Excel. This table provides the top 25 SRI locations based on crashes. The analyst can click the Map button in the upper right portion of the screen and be taken to a visual representation of the crashes located on the map. In this situation, Route 37, which was queried earlier. The analyst is able to use the second bar on top, time, and move it across the screen from left to right and see a visual representation of the sun and its placement in the sky at that time of day. This may provide the analyst with a better representation of the sun's factor in the crash. When scrolling into the map, the user is shown the crash via an arrow, which is the direction that was indicated on the NJTR1. When a crash is selected, additional information on the left is provided about the crash. This is information that is provided on the NJTR1 and populated for the user to use. On the right, the user is also able to change the heat map type setting to a point type setting, which is shown here, and points will be shown on the map. The user can also overlay a satellite image. Satellite imagery may provide additional information to find out additional factors for sun glare and building locations. As shown in the weather module, the sun glare module is also able to provide a report based on various selections by the user for queries. Based on physical condition, this report indicates that Hooper Avenue is not a top location on Route 37. Next, we will demonstrate the Pedestrian Analysis module. The Pedestrian module provides a wide array of graphical charts to provide information on a state level or based on the user query. Information on the charts includes crashes involving pedestrians versus bicyclists, physical condition breakdown, frequency of involvement by age, crashes by traffic control code, crashes by day of the week, pedestrian fatality based on speed, the 20 most recent fatalities in their location, as well as top school locations for crashes less than 1 mile, and top bus stop locations for crashes less than 150 feet from the stop. This module also allows the user to query at a statewide level, an MPO level, a county level, municipality level, or by an SRI. The next module is the Pedestrian Heat Map module. The Pedestrian Heat Map module provides additional information about pedestrian-related crashes and shows the crashes in a heat map type display on the crash map. As the user scrolls in, the crashes become more detailed. In this scenario, we are looking at Woodbury on Route 45. The user can query based on date, pedestrian or bicyclist, or both, severity, and crash attributes. Once the criteria is selected, the crashes are displayed and updated on the map. When a crash is selected, additional information is populated. Information from the NJTR1 is also displayed in this module. The user is able to select overlays, such as schools, which will provide a school. If the user selects the school, a radius will be drawn around the school and crashes that are located within that radius. When selecting the school, additional statistics are also shown in the lower left-hand corner. As with the previous modules, in this module, the user can also select different visual overlays, such as satellite imagery, roadway imagery. If the user is looking for more detailed information about pedestrians, they could always return to the crash map. The crash map in this scenario will be used to analyze Woodbury from a pedestrian perspective. As the user zooms into the Woodbury locations, the crashes will populate on the map. On the right, the filter menu can be opened and the criteria can be selected. In this scenario, we will be choosing pedestrians and cyclists. The crash map is updated to reflect the selection by the user. Overlay, such as the equity layer, can be selected. When the user clicks in any of the areas of the overlay, detailed information is provided about the equity layer. If the user selects a crash cluster and crash breakdown, additional information about the crash is provided. Also, the user can go right into the Google Streets Map view at this location. Safety Voyager has been designed to provide as much information as possible for the user within the program. The Updates blog provides the user with updated tutorials about the program, as well as self-guided tours, unmatched crash data records, and any updates that are provided to the program. As a next step, the NJDOT is currently in a pilot study for the SPF Tool. This is a program that is currently being utilized by other DOTs for predictive analysis. Safety Voyager geocoded crash data will be used in the SPF Tool. The SPF Tool will also utilize the safety performance functions developed for New Jersey, but is capable of generating new and updated SPFs based on available and uploaded data into the program. The program provides the user with graphical displays for many functions, such as urban four-leg signalized intersections. In this example, the SPF tool shows the crash frequency of locations in New Jersey. The user is able to see the locations on a visual 3D graphical display. This graphical representation provides a quick view of locations experiencing a higher frequency of crashes. Additional details are also provided in charts. The graphical 3D display can also be expanded into a full screen view. When a point is selected on the chart, the map is also updated to provide the location. The SPF tool is also able to do CMF analysis. In this situation, a CMF factor is applied, and you can see where the decrease will be and if the location will have a lower expected crash frequency. An additional feature of the tool is to be able to do a benefit to cost ratio. This concludes the Safety Voyager presentation and highlights some of the modules and features of the platform, as well as joint efforts and utilization of programs such as the SPF tool for predictive analysis. Thank you.
I guess at this point we can open it up to any questions if we have time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there actually is a question in the chat box from Helene Roberts who asks, who has access to Safety Voyager?
So access to Safety Voyager is provided to government organizations, so state government, MPOs, and anyone dealing on a government project. So if there's a consultant that is working on a government project, whether it's county level, municipality, they would be able to get access to Voyager pending providing the project manager from that organization and project information.
Okay, thank you.
Amy Kaminsky has her hand raised, and also I asked a follow-up question about how the people that are eligible to have access get the access.
And Helene, I just put the link into the chat box, and there's a link for an email request if any local governments, MPOs need access to that. Peter, if you have any information, feel free to chime in.
Usually, as soon as we get the request, it goes to our admin email, and we verify if it comes from a government email, then access is usually provided within 24 hours, even less. But we usually give a 24-hour turnaround for access. And also, if there's a learning institution that's working on grant applications for the state or county level, we also grant access for that as well. Amy, I guess.
Yeah, towards the end of your presentation, you brought up some interesting attributes that you can pick up and use to dig into the data. Is that available right now on Safety Voyager? Is that in a demo mode, or how does one gain access to that information?
Amy, are you speaking about the SPF tool?
Yeah.
So the SPF tool is actually a standalone project created by the Tatum Group. It's a different company that we're on a pilot license with them right now, and we wanted to see what data requirements would be for that program compared to other programs we've tested. So right now there's a license, and we sent out an email actually for training for the program. So the way the license agreement works right now, it will be temporary for the MPOs for the training, and then pending how the outcome of this pilot, which is wrapping up, will determine how we're going to proceed with the license agreement in the future. So I hope that answers your questions kind of a little bit roundabout way, but no, there's not access, but there may be access.
Great, thank you so much. Really great presentation.
Thank you. Any other questions? Somebody asked here, can you tell us which firms, institutions, or agencies were on the development team? The development team consists of, it was actually DOT, GPI, and FHWA is kind of the actual development team, but we take feedback. A lot of feedback is provided from the MPOs. Amy, I know from NJTPA provided feedback in the past, and DVRPC, I think we got some feedback before, and SJTPO. So as well as consultants, basically the feedback we receive, that's how we kind of develop the program for those needs. We also have focus groups. We were going to start a focus group for external users. However, COVID started at that exact same time. So we kept it internal. So right now we have an internal focus group of various users in the DOT to kind of help push the program forward and develop new modules or new uses. And then we're going to be expanding that out to an external focus group as well in the near future.
Peter, this is Mike. One of the things worth mentioning also is through the Strategic Highway Safety Plan, there are emphasis area teams. Those emphasis area teams have very specific and focused concerns. And the feedback from that group is also making its way to you. And you have made improvements and adjustments to Safety Voyager at the request of those emphasis area teams to try to support their individual efforts as well. So there are multiple, I guess, sources of input and feedback that we receive and that Peter is receptive to and trying to customize our primary customer needs.
That's a great point, Mike. Thank you. And so certain modules, if there's something internal for a certain organization, some of the modules are available to only certain users as well. So some may be internal to DOT, some are made external and internal. So that's if you have any feedback or would like to provide any comments, we're always welcome and receptive, like Mike said, to develop the program further or to work with different users.